This is a minor hockey moment, a chance for us to explore all the nooks and crannies, the little bits and pieces of minor hockey. This time we're in the inner sanctum. This is a place that not many people get to go to. We're inside the referee room in between the two arenas here in the CA Nesbitt. Joining me is Donnie Mitchell. Donnie, the referee in chief for minor hockey this year. Thanks for doing that. You're the first referee we've ever talked into being on the show, the first person that's ever trusted us not to rip you about that call. What were you thinking? I really appreciate you being on the show. Let's start off with Thank the Stripes, which is an initiative that went on the weekend, and I think this is just fantastic. So tell us what that's all about.
Yeah, for sure. It was a Hockey Manitoba initiative there for this year, December 8th to 10th. It just so happened to be on our Bantam tournament, which worked out great.
Yeah.
Basically, it's Hockey Manitoba's way of showing appreciation to the officials. Actually, there's over 1,600 on-ice officials throughout the province. Yeah. So a way for local businesses maybe to step up and show their appreciation. It worked out really good with the Bantam tournament being on. We had lots of support. We had people that donated services. We had food, refreshments through the whole weekend. Did a little spiel during opening ceremonies, which was nice. So it was really, really good. It was nice to see.
It worked out great, and it was pretty neat. We got a chance to check out. You guys sent out a tweet that got a lot of likes, I guess, with a few of our local referees, and we noticed that it was going on all across Manitoba. So were other people doing sort of similar stuff to us, trying to just generate some interest?
Yeah, there was actually. I'm not much of a Twitter follower or anything like that, which I get a little ribbing from my kids, but my wife is, and we were going on there looking, and there was lots across the province that had, I guess, hashtag Thank the Stripes, so that was really good to see.
Yeah, no, I think it feels to me like this has been brewing for a long time, just that we needed something to recognize the officials, and people are starting to realize that without them, the games just don't go on, and lots of times they get ripped, and it feels a little unfair.
Yeah, you're right. Like, quite frankly, without the officials, there is no game, right? So that's how it works. But when we go into this, we accept that when we go in, and we're not always going to make everybody happy. But as long as we're there and we're looking out for the safety of the players and trying to call the game as fair as we can, make sure everything's played within the rules, I think that's what everyone expects.
And as part of our sort of ceremony or our local piece, we got a chance to recognize one of our up-and-coming young referees. So Matt Rempel got a little bit of an award. Tell us about that.
Yeah, he did. He got Hockey Manitoba's Windy Linden Award for the most improved official in the Northern Manitoba region.
What a name!
Yeah, that was a mouthful, trust me. Yeah, so Matt got that for most improved official in the Northern Manitoba region. Another good thing that we did, which people might have picked up or not, but we actually were able to recognize one of our senior officials this weekend as well. So Brett Florence.
Yeah.
He's actually, we were talking earlier before that, he's actually been refereeing for 38 years. Back then when he started, they were able to start refereeing when they were 10 years old. So he's one of our most senior officials here, actually the most senior official here in Thompson, and we lean on him a lot. He's mentored not just myself, the senior officials, but a lot of the young ones. Mm-hmm. And we really appreciate all his efforts, He worked with Matt. He's been mentoring Matt as he's been coming up through, and Matt's worked his way up to doing lines even in midget AAA, so that's really good.
Yeah, no, I mean, Brett's a friend of mine, and I was shocked when you said that during the opening. 38 years, I thought, holy cow, that's a pretty good run, and lots of people know him, and I mean, he's excellent. He's fantastic.
Yes, he is. Yeah, he's a fixture here, and especially at the North Star games, like you guys do the show and everything. Yeah. So, and again, sometimes a thankless job. But he takes on that responsibility. He takes it very seriously. He's a very dedicated official, and frankly, they're lucky to have him.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. The miles he's put on in Northern Manitoba are mind-boggling.
Absolutely, not just for the Norman North Stars, but he does Junior A, Junior B games as well, and even came down and did some Bantam games this weekend, which we greatly appreciated.
Yeah. Fantastic. So you said that he mentored you a little bit, and I know you don't have 38 years in quite yet. But what got you into refereeing?
Basically, Bruce, I decided I wanted to stay involved. My son was getting older. I was moving away from coaching. Wanted to stay involved, wanted to give back to Thompson Minor Hockey. And once I started doing it, I realized that I actually enjoyed it, enjoyed the challenge. What I enjoy the most is actually trying to get better all the time. And that's why, like I say, I lean on Brett and others like Barry. Mm-hmm. Constructive criticism is always good, so I always try to better myself and work hard every time I go out there to do the best that I can.
Yeah, no, and I know I was sort of hung around with Barry a bit as he was getting into it, and he was obsessed with it for a little while. I think he still is, but you're right, it's something that sort of, and I say that in a good way, but I mean, when he's watching the games on TV down here, he's really seeing a lot of the officiating, and it's really, I think sometimes we think you guys are out there just to, whatever, put in your time, help out a little bit, but really you guys spend a lot of time trying to get better and talking in the room after the games and stuff like that, right?
Yeah, that's a lot what people don't see is actually the conversations that go on in the room after or during the game. We all carry rule books in our bags, something that comes up during the game or a situation we're not familiar with. We're all there looking through the book, trying to improve our skills and trying to get better all the time.
Yeah, no, for sure. My son does a bit too, and he talks about that a lot too, that you guys help out the younger guys and just the young guys too. You think even just that they're kids, but they're in here talking about the games and how the calls went and stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely. It's, one of our Norman referee in chief, his hashtag is like Team Stripes, right? So, that's what we look upon ourselves as, like a team. We're the third team that's on the ice, and we stick together, so.
Yeah. No, I love it. So if people want to get involved like you have, what's the path to becoming you? Or Brent Florence?
Yeah.
You need 40 years.
40 years. No, I guess you have to be first year bantam, so 13 years old if the younger kids are looking to get involved. And every official has to complete an online course through Hockey Canada, and level 1 and level 2s have to attend a clinic. Everybody has to recertify every year. Level 3s, they have to attend a seminar to do the higher level games. So it's a national certification. Everyone writes the same tests. So usually late September, or I guess late August, early September, there'll be notices out. We're always looking for new officials. We have a couple new adult officials that stepped up this year, so that's really good to see. There's guys that are just like myself wanting to get involved a little later in life, and it's really good to see. So. Yeah.
No, I couldn't agree more. From the bantam age up to the adults, and I know sometimes you struggle with having some adult referees just because you can't have midgets reffing midgets or bantams reffing midgets. So there is always room for adults and for kids as well.
Yeah, absolutely, Bruce. Yes.
Super. Donnie Mitchell, referee in chief here in Thompson. See, we didn't even rip you about any calls.
No.
No hard questions. Thanks for joining us. That was fantastic.
Thank you very much, Bruce.